You ever just get the feeling you're forgetting something? You're fucking up by keeping your friends waiting. That's where I'm at right now. Hey Anthony, I'm going to Mark's, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I just left. I'm on my way. Are we riding to your place? Or you meeting us there?
You guys are heading here. Yeah.
All right. For some reason, I forgot the scheme of maneuver, so I don't know. Got a little flustered packing out, but I'll be there shortly.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Oh, hi, Mark.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. I'm heading your way. I know I'm running a little bit behind, about 15 minutes, but I figure with crosstown traffic.
I'm all packed up, pretty much ready to go, so I'll help you load up and we'll be on our way.
All right, man. I'll be there in about less than 10 with crosstown traffic.
All right, cool.
All right, brother. I'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
That's the building where I've been burning my money. I just go there to burn it. Fucking Lordstown.
What?
Oh, I tell this thing to do things and it records. Oh boy. I got a mission for you people. Figure out if Golden Earrings Radar Love is saying, I've been riding all night, hands sweat on the wheel, or hands wet on the wheel. Yeah, here we are. About to go put the dick in Dakota. Gotta take a piss. We've made it to the Badlands National Park. I'll show you the wonderful views. They're not that bad. Yeah, you too? I just let one loose.
Got some ducks here in the park.
Yeah. They're not really deep enough.
Air up here.
Yeah.
It's good.
They're not really deep enough to be canyons necessarily, but they have canyon features. I'd say they're more of a gorge. Gorgeous, if you will. This is the first overlook here at the Badlands Wall. So one thing of note is that the most common mammal fossils, and I'm reading this verbatim, so they're found here, or that are found here, are those of the Oreodonts. Maybe there's some Oreodoos. Who knows?
Oreo donuts?
Yeah, Oreo donuts. Look at that thing. It looks like an Oreo donut. And looks like
I'd eat it.
Yeah, it looks like a capybara that adheres to a strict diet of Oreos. Yeah. Quite the interesting strata deposits here. Mostly
So if
sediments and
they had
sedimentary
dredging
rocks.
equipment, They should have used it.
Yeah, I think all the water just drained out. I imagine this was
I'm
underwater.
Sure if they get a downpour.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, flash flooding right down in there. Right down into there. There goes
There's a capybara.
a chipmunk. You'll notice that if I don't know if this will pick it up. I don't even know if I got the video stabilization on. I better throw that on. But the chipmunk around here are less brown. They're more gray to blend in with the rock. So quite the adaptation on that road. So you'll note that the signage here, it says even if it's a short walk, bring water. We're all pretty well hydrated on coffee. This is just a flat out burn, just straight driving through, no stops. So got some miles under our feet here. But yeah, the hydration from the coffee will sustain us. Not too worried for these small walks here. Pretty rugged individuals that we are.
Is this for your podcast?
Vlog.
Vlog.
See, a podcast would indicate that I was doing this live, but not enough people have submitted to me and became heathens that I could exploit to get 1,000 subscribers so that I could podcast or live stream, if you will. So maybe I'll hire about 300 Indians in a bot farm to come on and pump up my numbers. I don't know what the conversion is in rupees, but I think it might be like 500 bucks or some shit. GoPro, stop recording.
That's fucking sweet.
What's fucking sweet? Oh, the picture you took, obviously.
The panoramic. You could do the panoramic.
Dude, that's way better than what I got going on here. This is how I gotta do panoramic.
I mean, that's...
And it doesn't turn out as a picture. I don't know, maybe I got panoramic mode.
Wow.
That's definitely an iPhone feature there. GoPro photo mode.
You're in it though.
GoPro, stop recording. I can definitely tell you this is rugged terrain. I just kind of slipped into my shoes yesterday morning, or yesterday afternoon rather. I never really laced them up tight for the ride out because I like my feet to be comfortable. The only thing is, if you start to swell up your ankles and start rolling them going through this terrain, you got no choice but to walk it off. So it helps when you're in the Badlands to lace up nice and tight. By the way, just an aside, you military folks, you can get in here for free. The whole carload, as long as one of you's in. Which is a nice little perk. Did I miss anything?
No.
I feel like I should have brought a cigar.
Big dip down there.
Yeah? Want to walk down there?
Walk over there to get out that edge towards that grass up
As long as you're not climbing, they want you to avoid climbing. If it's necessary to climb, you climb. Yeah, we could take the marked trailway.
Post that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's kind of like the overlook, almost like to that red sand rock.
Right on. I got the windscreen on her, like wind mode, where the sound doesn't record it or tries to deaden it. I don't know how well it's working, but if you can hear the wind, wow, yeah, I can definitely feel it. Give you a little, for instance. Oh, of course it dies down as soon as I go to throw, but it's still blowing. It's good 10 mile an hour with 15 mile an hour gust. Anyways, I go to lean over it. I probably should have recorded that, but well, I mean, hell. So
Got that.
that's a coffee, man. But yeah, I leaned over and the wind kicked up right at my back right as I was trying to get that photo, and I was like, holy shit, that could have ended in catastrophe. This sign claims end of the trail, and that's end of the designated trail, at least this leg. But I'm just going to go a little bit beyond it, because that's where the adventure begins, at the end of the trail. It's one of those monkey see, monkey do situations where I saw some quite adventurous types out here on this little plateau. And there's grass on top, and I said, you know what, I'd like to do that myself. So here I am on the way. It's kind of about finding a route. Like that one was unnecessary. Yeah, if you have the need for adventure and you see a place you want to go to, as long as you're not doing anything too extraneous, you can go there and enjoy it. And you'll get views like this. Place. Here comes the crew.
In South Dakota.
Well, I mean, that's not uncommon anywhere, especially with the tourism draw, California being so close. Yeah, those dudes are way off the beaten path. Like, they're either gonna go smoke meth or smoke pole. That's your choices once you go out that far.
Yeah, I already did that when I was warehousing.
The meth?
No, the
Well, the pole. Oh, yeah, yeah, we were talking about hurting your wrist if you fall. Yeah.
I'm loading a cardboard truck. And I was straightening out. I was straightening out a bale of cardboard on top of another one, and the strap broke.
War stories, man.
Fell back. Felt a little pinch, didn't think nothing of it. My hand and my wrist swelled up about the size. When I broke a little bone in my wrist.
Yeah. That's that floating bone, that's safe. It takes months to heal.
Well, I was actually in cast for like over a year.
Bend your knees, get low. Watch that loose rock. GoPro, stop recording. So the trail says to be aware of rattlesnakes, and one would say they usually make you aware because they'll start to rattle. Much known fact, touted these days by amateur herpetologists, not people with herpes or study of herpes, but study of reptilian and amphibians. They like to point out that rattlesnakes, due to evolutionary traits, have stifled their rattle. They haven't lost their ability to. They still grow the rattle, but generally the ones that survive are the ones that don't give away their location. So over generations, that trait becomes a survival mechanism. So nowadays rattlesnakes are less likely to rattle. At least that's what I hear tell. So the moisture that's retained is noted in the instruction block on the trailhead, or the information block, if you will. The soil is able to retain moisture that lends itself towards this lush vegetation in parts. There are trees that you would see, and we are actually really far north compared to a lot of places I've been. But you'll see like Canadian vegetations even that have blown in. Guadalupe Peak, we saw that. But you have juniper, which was also at Guadalupe Peak, and some pine trees, some coniferous trees that are very drought resistant and are able to flourish here in the Badlands. But yeah, the ecosystem here, when you hear the Badlands, or you think of like places like Death Valley, you think, man, that must be like really devoid of animals and any kind of plant life. Well, you know, there's patches and they foster these ecosystems. You have a lot of burrowing rodents around here, not necessarily in this particular area, but you'll have prairie dogs as you go out. Guess where they are? More towards the prairie. But you'll have birds of prey, hawks and things of that nature. But also the rattlesnakes, the aforementioned rattlesnakes. But definitely, there's a songbird of some sort. But definitely a very diverse and fragile ecosystem. I have to make a note here to include the Badlands Oasis block of information. Yeah, this is the Badlands Oasis, as per the block of information that I took a picture of that I'll have to edit in there. People have been congregating here since prehistoric times, 11,000 years ago. So again, this is the Badlands Oasis, making this the Wonder Wall. So here, growing in this this face of this downslope is a cactus, and I know that because I'm not stupid. All right, look at this path that comes through here. That looks adventurous. Looks like more of like a washout, but then it seems like people have walked and traversed it, and I'm almost positive that we have had a surface shitter who's walked out of here one sock low at the very least. So things to be aware of. If I had my picker, I'd pick it up, in my bag I'd bag it, but I'm not bare-handing shit rags. The forethought and planning, they definitely keep the photographer in mind for this. Once you have a little walkout walkway so that you can take a photo or video of the Ben Raphael Visitor Center. Before we accept this, yeah, Raphael, Ruffle, yeah. I don't know who Ben Raphael is, but his visitor center looks very opulent and welcoming.
Good day, sir. How are you? Yes.
Technically, I paid for this. Yeah, when I think about all the times I've went to these places and been able to press pennies, I've generally shied away from defacing U.S. currency of any kind, even though it is legal. But yeah, I feel as though perhaps I've missed out on documenting and gaining keepsakes. That Titanothere skull is quite impressive, the fossilization one. I think that might be a cast of it. Could be the original, but this one, I'm not even sure what this is. This subhydrocondone. Look at this predator here. It's one ugly mother. Large pig-like animal. Cloven hoof. Bony projection, but no tusk on this one. Potentially tusk. This is just a mock-up of what it may look like with flesh. We're about to go on the fossil trail. It is a 1/4 mile trail here in the Badlands. It says extinction is forever. Do not tell that to Dr. Ian Malcolm, because life finds a way. I like how the paleontologist that was in charge of putting up these information placards and displaying the castings of these fossils was a real humorist. It seems like they have a little quib or a little joke hidden in every single one. Actually, they're not really even that well hidden, so you know, humor being subjective. I'm laughing. Here's the fossil casting of the Nimmervid. These castings are in bronze, by the way. Spared no expense. But yeah, it resembled a large saber-toothed cat, now extinct. Quite the vicious creature here. When you have those kind of teeth, you can pierce right through the skull and paralyze your prey, or even take them by the back of the neck and sever the spinal cord, and they will still have brain function while they're eaten alive. Yes, it's a dog's life, commonly referred to as a dog, which, by the way, all dogs are basically one species, no matter what the breed is. But this Hesperocyon, or Procyon's raccoons, but yeah, it's a dog's life.
It looks like a raccoon.
Yeah, a little early on in its stage. It's got that sloped snout to forehead kind of thing going on. This tells you how to read the rocks.
Rule formation.
I like to read them in Braille. This equine species, obviously extinct, three-toed horse, known as the Mesohippus. Horses have adapted in North America over millions of years. See, our history would have you believe that all the horses that were first in North America were brought here by the Spaniards. But we're talking about prehistoric species that have died before man set foot here, or potentially just right on the cusp, because apparently this one died 30 to 37 million years ago. That's where its fossil is found. So that predates man's existence on this continent, or at least man as we know it, depending on what Pangaean out of Africa theories you subscribe to. But here's an ancient species that really, even though this particular one, the alligator, it's found fossil record here in the 37 million years ago. This prehistoric alligator growing up to 14 feet long, or actually modern alligators, I didn't read that through, that grow up to 14 feet long. This particular species would grow up to 6.5. The alligator as it is relatively unchanged by evolution since that time. So that species would more or less be limited, not just by its genetics, but by its environment. Ah, the Titanothere. Yes, I saw a larger, documented that at the Ben Rayfield Visitor Center. Again, I don't know if that was an original skull or a casting, but that piece back there, that bronze casting, obviously a smaller remnant of what that complete skull that was in the museum has to show.
Man,
Under the sea.
That's old.
They are huge with their humor on this. They really are.
Look at that Jeep.
Classic Willis style.
Looks like the ancestor of the Nautilus.
Glacian
Tick ass.
Glacian Ticklass. We're coming to an overlook area. Very good view from the road, which I didn't record, so you have to take my word for it. But yeah, this is one of those deep valley views. They do helicopter tours. This is what is known as Yellow Mounds Overlook, very aptly named. The coloration of the rock is quite unique for the whole park, where you have mostly like your grays and browns and slate coloration. Here you actually have like pink hues and obviously yellow. And hopefully this information marker says what causes that yellow coloration. So according to the information marker, what you had was a shallow sea at one point that left behind fossilized clams, baculites and ammonites. Not to be confused with Mennonite, like Amish and shit, but Mennonites or Mennotees. Anyways, that shallow sea died out and it was replaced by jungle, which is where you start to see the red coloration in the strata. And as the information marker said, both are gone now, never to return again. On this earth, desertification, or land turning into barren desert, happens at a rate of 50 to 70,000 square kilometers annually, and I think that's happening at more of an accelerated rate since that statistic was known. Some right there by the road, but they're being scared off.
Except for the one that just snuck her down.
They got to get real close. We have a small herd here. Looks like a mama and a papa and a baby. This one here to the left is tagged at the neck. It's got a tracking collar on, replete with a GPS synced antenna. Now look, got some petters and some feeders. Great. Petters and feeders turn into crippled bleeders. We're going through South Dakota on our way to Montana, so we decided to take a 1-hour segue on the route and visit one of our nation's greatest monuments. I'm going to go through these pillars, and hopefully from this perspective it will slowly reveal some of our nation's greatest presidents, at least until funding ran out. From left to right: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Yeah. So now we leave the beautiful Mount Rushmore area in the snow belt, it has been pointed out, here in May.
No, he was talking about how big the flakes are. I don't get flakes around my house.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I certainly
Shit. I get these flakes every time until I take a shower at Head and Shoulders.
I was supposed to bring the ticket here. I left the ticket in the truck. Is there another spot to pay on the way out?
Yeah.
Oh, the pay machine's
I don't know if the camera's picking this up with the same perception as my eyes. But just the way the snow falls. Let's do this. We're here in Billings, Montana. The sprinklers have kicked in at this hour. Not that that has any relevance or bearing on what we're doing. We're heading down to a little restaurant called the Fiddler's Green. I'll tell you all about it. We have arrived at Fiddler's Green Sports Bar and Grill, Casino, ATM, and Liquor Store. And Pepsi sponsored. Yeah. A municipal airport. Helicopters only. Yeah, here we are in Great Falls, stopping to tighten up the cab and to get a crescent wrench, making a whistling sound. Taking over driving. About 3 hours out. Well, we have arrived here at West Glacier, Montana, Glacier National Park. It is a lot more laid on than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like a more rustic atmosphere, but we're going to be smoothing it pretty good. All right, we've made it to Glacier National Park here in Montana. You can see snow still on the mountain over there. Down by the river, away from the campsite. Now, watch this drive. I don't know how these peaks in the background are going to come out. They blend rather well. You can probably see them better in the reflection of the lake than on the skyline. But this is Lake McDonald. You can see a lot of large rocks, gouged rocks. These were all left behind by a 2,000-foot thick glacier that receded through here. And as it did, gouging the rocks and digging out the what is now the lake bed, as it melted, these rocks that were left behind created a dam on what's known as McDonald Creek. A lot of guys that found this stuff named it after themselves during the preservation of the park, even though they were occupied for a millennia by Native Americans, discovered by Lewis and Clark, right? Anyway, those rocks dammed up the creek, and that helped to fill the lake bed that was gouged out by that glacier, and that is where I stand today. I hope you can make this out, but there are these bubbles that are rising up, and it's pretty near constant. So what I imagine is there's either some sort of air pockets underneath the lake bed itself that are slowly rising through the surface, or potentially ice that hadn't thawed yet that may have trapped air underneath the rocks, and now that it's at its thaw point, these bubbles are starting to rise. A little bit further down Lake McDonald, there's these walking trails you can go on. Anybody could recon this on a map. Don't really need this pole, but it damn sure looks good. Our walk along the river has become a little impeded by deadfall, but there's a reason we came down. I actually found some litter. But I wanted to document the amount of moss on this rock. And when one observes the strata of terra firma and notes a lack of angular momentum, they tend to see moss. Hence, a rolling stone gathers no moss. And at the midpoint on the trail of life, I reached a path or a point where the path divided. And I decided to take the path less traveled, and that has made all the difference, they say. Unfortunately, I think these are equally traveled. Well, it's definitely not as big as I thought it would be, given the sound of it. But with the way the water's melting at this time of year, you're definitely getting a good flow. So this is Trail of the Cedars nature trail. Towards the end of this log, it's not as well braced, but I think it's sturdy enough that I can cross. That's usually when you end up falling. Good thing I got this this pole. Oh, oh. Yeah, I've crossed to the other side for my compatriots, and I think I'll take the high road back. Oh, easy, easy. This is where you end up like running into bear. So I knew I'd beat them. Yeah, even on this narrow finger, The water's moving swift from the snow melt, especially where it narrows. I'm gonna stay along the path here and go to that bench real quick. This is the Avalanche Lake Trail, part of the greater Cedar Trail. Quite the unique carve out in the rocks from the flow of water. Everything's nice and smooth, well weathered. Almost looks fresh, like it was exposed yesterday. You have these small pools where the rock was softer. You can actually see it gurgling in. But it was softer and able to be washed away in a swirl and even flow through this area and over the rock. Because water's always going to follow that path of least resistance. And you figure also you're going to lose rock every year. When the water goes into those crevices, typically it won't freeze while it's moving. But when it gets into those dead pool areas and the water's low enough because the snow hasn't melted, it will freeze, cause expansion cracks, and then or go into those cracks and flake it off under freezing, and then the water will come down and wash it away incrementally. That's why you have a lot of even chip away and sediment inside of those rock pools. But yeah, the might of flowing water. Stronger than one would anticipate. Years and years of deadfall have piled up on this hillside, and it's bound to happen because, as you can see, these trees growing very close together are always in competition to reach the sun, and you can tell that they don't really start having foliage until further up. So even a tree this size with about a 6-inch diameter, that could be as old as 30-35 years. So you can only imagine how old that fella is. Typically, if you have an 80-foot coniferous tree, it's generally going to be closer to 100 years than it is to 20. So while they grow more narrow, they definitely grow up. Also, you figure the way the peaks are, they actually get a very limited amount of sunshine, and those roots have to go down through a significant amount of rock to get to any kind of water. I may be able to zoom in on this video if it's in high enough definition, but right there you can see that wet look. There is actual snow melt flowing down the mountain into a waterfall.
Oh, shit.
And there's several, yeah, and there's several cascading areas too, like through here. But that's all what feeds this wonderful creek. I'm tearing up, not from the majesty of this view, but got salty sweat in my eyes. It was definitely quite the hike up, but it wasn't that bad. But this is the high point of the trail, and you get to see that it slopes down this way. A lot of people are coming back, so we'll probably hit the end and get back to the truck. Nick, get that apple out of your pocket. He's gonna come after us. Just throw it the other way and run. He's got pointy teeth.
He's a little more skittish than the last one.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
He wants to come say hi.
And the other one was on trail.
Oh yeah?
There was a bridge. He got on the bridge. We stepped off so he could go by.
Well, it is their forest, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Keep it out. If you ever seen billy goats or mountain goats?
Mountain goats. We are trying to spy some mountain goats here. This would probably be the place to see them. Not just because it's a mountain, but they like the cold. So there is still snow on the mountain, usually till about June. And even then there's snow all year at the peaks. Well, we made it. Avalanche Lake. Standing here on this log jam, documenting the occasion. By the way, picking up litter, so I've gone national. As Woodsy the Owl would say, give a hoot, don't pollute. Butterfly. Ain't nature wonderful? It's coming down to snack on that, who knows what that is, mountain cabbage lettuce.
He's eating good stuff now, huh?
Yeah, he found the batch. Is that a he? Oh, I was just looking for the horn. Big fat deer dick. It's just all up in that. I don't believe this deer is too disturbed by us. That's female. Today we're on the far side of Lake McDonald in a burnout area. You can see some new construction going on there. Probably had some good insurance. But Mark's gonna go fishing and he's gonna purify himself in the waters of Lake McDonald. And we're gonna hit the trail.
I might go for a skinny dip.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, definitely gotta be cautious about some of these trees. There is the potential for a deadfall. Want to see something cool? Check this out. Boom. Hey Mark, can you hear me? Over. Hey Mark, Matt, can you hear me? Over. Anyway, Mark just gave us a bear report riding out. I think he's out of range now. The walkie-talkie's only for when we get close for extraction, but about 20 seconds after he pulled out, he saw a bear and was courteous enough to give us a little heads up. So this is akin to one of those things I find fascinating. But this tree, massive tree, who knows how old, compromised by fire, has fallen, and upon it is a rock. I don't know if the rock came out of the soil with it and just landed here, or if it grew in, but I want to see. Yeah, just fell on it. But it's unique the way that happened, and I'll leave it there to rejoin nature. Alright, so upon further examination, given the size of those pellets and the stride and shape of these prints, you're looking at a cloven hoof animal. Again, most likely a goat. And those turds that are pellet shaped, those resemble goat turds, but we've already passed more. Bunch of shit? Patty or pellet?
Pellet.
Yeah. Yeah. Pooping and walking. A lot of fiber. Yep. You can light that on fire and stay warm with that. Seen some unique tree burns.
Come on.
You'd be surprised how hard that would be actually to knock over. Even though it seems like it is not sturdy, wood is amazingly strong. I tried to knock one off that was about 2 inches wide, and the tree had fallen up against other trees. This is years ago in North Carolina. Long and short of it, I hit that thing pretty hard and I could not budge it. We're talking an easy 1,500 pounds worth of tree hanging, just budding on 2 inches of shit, and it was not budging. A little slight impasse. Yeah, with all this deadfall, it kind of blocks the trail. We haven't seen a single soul. I keep my momentum up. Yeah, we saw about 200 people on the trail yesterday, maybe 150. But generally speaking, burned out areas with a bunch of trees falling, and known bear in the area. You don't see as many people as you do on those well-maintained trails with wood board walkways going up to the lake. Closest bear anybody saw yesterday was on the opposite side, I believe, on that mountain range or ridge. Nowhere close. If I can't see teeth and bristling hair, it ain't close. You are a trained professional. Quite the observation, Nick. Said it looks almost like a piece of mortar on here. Look at that. Who says God doesn't build in straight lines? Again, in keeping with my scatological findings, that is definitely bear scat right there. So this trail, when you look upon it, you're less likely, because it's so dry, you're less likely to see a bear paw print as you would any hooved animal, because they have wide paws that spread out, so that surface area and that padding, and as long as their claws are kind of retracted, like they're not in a gallop or anything, if they're just moseying down this trail, you're not always going to be likely to see their prints. Sometimes you get some washout, it'll obscure it. But there's nothing well defined because we have so much debris in the way. But usually, like this flat area here, leading down through there, you can see it's like a washout a little bit heading down to the lake. That would be about where they would track down to go drink. And I don't know what's on that side, but with over 700 lakes here, I'm sure some of them have their own territorial drinking hole. Well, now we have discovered actual bear prints. Nothing more confirmatory than that. And I can't gauge how fresh they are, but with today's sun and yesterday's sun beating down on them with minimal rainfall, I'd say, because it's not baked out, that's pretty fresh, wouldn't you? I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but yeah.
Hard to say.
And it's heading in the same direction as us, so that could be anywhere from 20 minutes old to a day and a half old. Yeah. All right. There's some mountain runoff heading down to the lake. Very nice and clear. Tastes fresh, but I wouldn't drink it just yet. But if I would have brought my my lifesaver bottle, I got enough water right now. I don't need to procure any. But if I would have brought my lifesaver bottle, I'd just dip it down in there, pump it up, keep rolling. See, yeah, this is more of the off trail that I was thinking about. Kind of makes me wish that I would have brought boots instead of just a change of socks, but I decided to go light, pack it in with the A6 because it's a flat trail.
You make it.
You can make it, man.
You're going to put.
You want to just walk across the log maybe, or
No.
you can make that jump.
About hopping it.
You want, hey, leave your pack or throw your pack on the other side. Give your pack to me, I'll toss it to you. That way you won't have to jump with the pack on. All right, get a little brace and get on. Too easy, right? Got some more. Look at that. Even the what do you think that was?
That's got to be a fucking
Yeah,
goat.
that's a big goat. If it's a goat, but
Oh, I see some
could be an elk. Yeah. Even they have trouble crossing these streams. They got to really dig in. There's a bear right there. Little,
Maybe.
that one is. Yeah. I don't know. Kind of. There's a possibility, you know, maybe something getting a run, little giddy up, but you never know. Never know. We have not seen a single person on this trail. Not a fucking one. I'm starting to wonder if that road closed sign was just moved to the side for the construction people or something. Not sure what those white bags are. And there is a hitching post down there, but we'll check it out. There's a sign marking something.
Campground.
Campground. Campground. This is probably the one that they said was shut down, huh?
No, it's all the way down towards the.
Let's take a look at it. See what these white bags are. But that there hitching post, that would make it super easy to throw up a rain fly. Paving material. How about you now? No water needed. No dust, no mud. No weeds. No setup time. Yeah. Basically just dirt. All right. Curiosity satisfied. Do you guys want to walk down to the lake? All right. Curiosity almost satisfied. I ain't turning that into a fucking lost and found. Yeah, it looks like one of those ladies. Check for like a wallet, huh? That's what happens when you tie shit down to the outside of your pack, but like not very proficiently.
Definitely ladies.
Yeah. Is there a wallet in there or anything?
No.
They might come back on this trail. Old trail master fucking Mike that was leading about 15 elderly women out. He probably gets laid constantly. He's over here talking about some saw stuck in a tree, asking if it's ours. They can't even keep their clothes on. He's such a fucking pussy spreader. Yeah. Trying to tell me that I can't recover a saw and just turn it into lost and found. If that's fucking silky, that motherfucker's mine, dude. Lost and found, fuck that. Finders keepers. I haven't seen one. I think he was making it up, trying to get some trail banter or some bullshit. Yeah, Garrett Gift is, or as you were, Garrett Drift is Garrett Gift. Yeah, it looks like that old timer was right about that saw. We finally came across it. I've been wondering where it was for the last mile. Yeah, he claims that, oh, you won't be able to get it out. Well, if you guys want to hike ahead, I'm going to give it about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to have me a silky. Or whatever saw that is.
Go ahead.
That old fucker didn't know what the hell he was talking about. This thing was super easy to get out. Wasn't that easy?
It was pretty easy.
Super fucking easy.
Kind of easy.
What a cunt. This is mine. We've passed some relatively large piles of scat, relatively fresh. This one seems to be the largest and freshest. So you don't want any of that part of the stick. But yeah, it could be. So far along the trail, this is the most unencumbered view of the mountainsides. We're right at the edge of the water here. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. That just took 30 per second, so pause it as you will and mute it if you need to. Well, we've come to a crossroads here on the Lake McDonald Trail. We just came from North Lake, so 6.2 miles. Not too shabby. So where to?
Well, pickup point would have been Fish Creek Campground or North Fork Road. So, another half mile.
There we go.
You all right?
You got a bench right there?
Yeah.
Pop a squat, get some water,
If I
catch
sit
your breath.
down, I may not get up.
I'll carry you. It's only a half mile. All right. Skeeters are buzzing now.
Yeah, they are.
About to throw my DEET on.
You can buzz Mark, see if he
Got a little mountain weather coming in. No big deal. Gonna hit Apgar trailhead and take that up to the Apgar lookout. This is where Anthony was fishing yesterday. This is where McDonald's Creek runs into Middle Fork River.
Middle Fork?
Middle Fork
Oh, you
River.
can't see it, but there's a mountain.
So
Oh yeah, right in the back.
I'd say the water's swelled up just a little bit. Yeah, definitely one of those misty mountain mornings.
Right there.
All right, so about a mile out from the bridge, we have the trailhead for the Apgar lookout and the Fork River Ranger Station. You go left, you go towards the ranger station. I guess that'd be southeast. We use cardinal directions. And you go more south, you end up towards the Apgar lookout. Probably help if I had a compass to really lock that in. I'll ask Nick. Here's your little sign. Flathead Ranger Station, not Fork River Ranger Station.
How are you?
But yeah, then Apgar Lookout's on the trail to the right. And that's where we're heading. All right, we're at the Apgar Lookout trailhead. So 3.6 miles up to the lookout. I'm going to anticipate it being a majority uphill, but pretty easy going trail. You don't exactly put lookouts in a valley. Well, this is actually my second time getting to this point. That long, slender, burned out tree, that was my waypoint for our turnaround. I had to take Nick back down the base and run on down and get the truck, bring it back up. But I'm gonna give those other two a call, see where we're at in this. Hey, Anthony, Matt, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so hey, I just reached that point where Nick and I turned around, break. Do you guys plan on staying up there, or are you heading back down?
Well, we haven't even reached the top yet, so we're gonna take a break up here, grab a bite to eat, catch our breath. So keep heading up.
All right, I'm on my way out here. Well, that's that. This is actually my first open view. Trail's pretty dense with trees. Yeah. I imagine the view from the lookout would be better. I got a pretty decent view here. And it's not necessarily spoiled, but indicative that after this switchback I'm getting to the top. Let me take this call. All right, so Anthony and Mark are heading back down. I'll shoot a signal. I think they're on the opposite side of this hill is why they're breaking up. Hey, Anthony, I monitor that traffic. Just coming in broken. Over. That's acknowledgement enough. Just trying to get a shot of some of these clouds forming right where I'm at. You can definitely see them sweeping over the mountain, getting progressively thicker as they gain in altitude and moisture. Yeah, looky here. About how much further you reckon?
Not very. About.
Really?
Not very, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna head on up there and
300 yards maybe.
Oh, and I'll catch up with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking trucking.
I couldn't help it. I had to take breaks.
Dude, I don't blame you. We'd have been carrying your dad off if we came up this far.
There's no fucking way.
No way. I'm having trouble. Woo! Clouds are forming right here too.
Juice isn't worth the squeeze to get to the top. There's nothing up there other than a stand-up lookout point. But
I got to know. I got to know.
Then maybe.
Well, how the hell am I going to shout Drago if I don't get to the top? All right, guys. I'll catch you on the way down. Yeah. This is kind of indicative of reaching a summit, even in the month of May. 29th of snow. You know, not to overquote Chris Christopherson like I usually do anyways, the going up is always worth the coming down. screen over there just in case. Some hitching post. Bring your horses up. And there's the Apgar lookout. You know, I'm starting to see why the cell service was so good. I got a text message saying that I had an email. Hell, if I'd known, I'd have brought my computer up here and hotspotted. Oh well, I'll have to check it out some other time. Well, let's go see what's doing up there. Yeah, not a bad view. A little windy. Our cabin is right about there somewhere. Drago. Well, I do want to catch up to my compatriots, so I think I'll shake a leg and try not to break a leg. I'll pick up a light jog. But I'll leave you here and just tell you, ever have the chance to come to Montana and go to Glacier National Park, check out Apgar Trail. It'll challenge your calves if nothing else. Well, I didn't introduce anybody to the opulence of this cabin. I assure you, it was very nice. But alas, we have to leave. Gotta go home sometime. That time is now. Can't even see the mountains right now, so perfect time to pull out. Very overcast, gray and drizzly. Goodbye, Montana. It's been real. Well, going through Montana, some places the speed limit is 80. We just happened to be going through a 70 with the cruise set. And young Trooper Evans was kind enough to pull us over and remind us what the speed limit is. So now we're gonna have to do 90 to make up the time through Montana. Good times. Goddamn road pirates taking away revenue from us sailors, trying to navigate our vessels. Don't they understand what sovereign citizenship's all about? Coming through Minnesota, gotta hit the rest area. Big spunk rest area. Fuck yeah, they knew I was coming. Coming all over the place here.